And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell. That's still your official title, right? Didn't give you new ones, did they?
No.
Juanita, Jennings. She does so many things.
Yeah.
I'm like, does that cover everything, or did they
Pretty much.
Did they give you another title here? But good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. So I know you guys have been busy. I know tourism's been meeting and kind of doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For folks that missed it, hopefully you didn't, but the city just recently had their public forum on the pets,
Yes.
Animal control and that. And it sounds like I saw a picture. I wasn't available to go, but it sounded like I had a good crowd out there, and hopefully we're getting good feedback and good information there so they can start doing what they do to meet the needs, better over at the animal services there.
Absolutely.
So sounds like those things went well.
Yeah, I think it was a really great turnout. We had almost 100 people that came out and, had that dialogue with our city manager and with animal services, with the team.
Sure.
They launched a new website. We launched it probably in beginning in middle of June. It's called 24petconnect.com. So it's an easier tool for people in our community or elsewhere to go in and look at some of the animals that are available for adoption.
Does that kind of serve as a lost and found?
Yes.
By default, sort of? Yeah.
It tells them their kennel number, the name. It gives them a little description. There's a photograph. And if the pet is not on there or the animal's not on there, then that means we no longer have it in our service.
Or it hasn't come to your
Or it
animal
hasn't
control.
come to our facility.
Yeah.
So, again, 24petconnect.com. We also are rolling out just some more educational opportunities. We do have a huge problem in Roswell with responsible pet ownership.
That's always been when we talk about pet overpopulation issues and all of that, that onus is on us, the community. We need to make sure our pets are spayed and neutered. You have to be, when you go to adopt an animal, there is responsibility with that. You got to feed it, take care of it, and if you're not willing to do that, then you shouldn't adopt an animal. And that's a lesson that we as a community still need to learn here, or still need to get better about doing. So.
Yeah. So tell your neighbor about that, especially, it's a big decision to take home an animal, whether it's a cat or a dog. And it's not just temporary. I mean, they're with you for multiple years.
It's
hopefully.
like a kid. It's like raising a child
It
in
is.
some aspects. It very much is. Yeah. So,
So-
and it's a lot of fun. That's the great thing is that once you embrace that pet as a part of your family, then you get the joys of having a pet. And that's, you're going to clean up some puke or a poop here and there, but you're going to get an animal that's fun, loyal, faithful to the family, and great with the kids, great with grandma. And it's just when you do all that right, it's a fun little. Or if you're an empty nester, or maybe you live alone and you're looking for that companion, you treat that pet, dog, cat, whatever it is you're into, and you raise it and give it some love and let it be a part of your life. You're going to find out that's going to be a good thing there, and then it gets easy. But it's a responsibility like anything else. And please, I know if you adopt an animal it doesn't matter if it's from animal control or the Humane Society next door, they will be spayed or neutered before and chipped, obviously, because that's a city ordinance here.
Yes.
And I do want to remind people that if you adopt from the Roswell shelter or animal control or any place in Roswell like that, your animal will be chipped, even if you don't live in city, because you're adopting from a city facility or a facility in the city. That means by ordinance you have to have that pet chipped. So even if you live out in the county or live in Eddy County and you come down, we'd love to have you do that because we have a great selection of pets. But we will have to have them chipped, and obviously it's going to be chipped to your address and everything. So it's a benefit for you.
Absolutely.
And because in case that dog or cat wanders off, that increases probably tenfold. As long as you keep the information update on the chip, increases tenfold that you're going to get your pet back. So.
Yes, absolutely.
But please know, and so when you go to animal control and you're like, I live in the county, I don't need that. No, you're adopting from a facility in the city. It will be chipped.
Yes.
And spayed or neutered. So, but just and here's another thing. Spaying and neutering is healthier for your pet. I know some people want to have litters and things like that, which, I mean, we can have that debate all day, but there's a lot of cancers and other diseases that your pet is open to when they're not spayed or neutered. The moment you have that pet spayed or neutered, all of that goes away. Certain cancers, risks, and things like that. So it's definitely a health benefit for you and your pet. your mental sanity to keep, especially if it's the males and marking territories and you get into that can be a frustrating experience. Neutering generally takes care of a lot of that stuff, but it's also a health benefit as well too. Infections, cancers, all that that's off the radar once they get spayed or neutered. So just keep that in mind when you do all that. But definitely
take a look at our pets. We have plenty, cats, dogs, puppies, all the way to our, adult dogs. A lot of times our adult dogs are the ones that get left behind. And then
some spend quite a bit of time.
Just a little bit more time than the puppies or the kittens do. And again, just be a responsible pet owner. It is a lot of responsibility having an animal. Like you said, it's like having a kid. You do have to feed it. You have to water. You have to give it exercise, enrichment, those kind of things. So before making that decision to take home an animal, make sure that you're ready and your family's ready and capable to care and for the well-being of that animal.
Absolutely. And one more little favor before we move on, I want to ask of people is if you are out at stores and you see people selling puppies out of back of parking space or parking lots out there, call the police, because that's illegal and it's unhealthy. And there are breeders and they have their thing, and that's one thing. But people that just decide to have a litter of puppies and then go hang out in a parking lot and sell them out of a box in the back, you don't know what you're getting. It's bad for those pets. It's bad for you and your family. I mean, there's a whole lot that can, and to be honest, that's in and of itself is a little bit part of the problem why we have overpopulation. People look at these as cash cows, and they're not.
Right.
So please, if you see that kind of activity, report it, because we need to nip that in the bud. We can't let that keep going on. It's not good for anybody. So just, and I know people are like, what's wrong with that? For the one person that does it the right way, there's 10 that do not. So that's why we got to do it that way. So that's the only reason I mentioned that. Let's move on. Do you want to talk water bill next?
Yes. Let's talk about water bill. So, COVID happened. We were shut down as a community, as a nation, as the globe. But we're getting back into things. And so that means that the responsibilities, good home ownership, are kind of coming back. The city of Roswell, will begin to shut off water for those accounts that have not been paying monthly or are delinquent.
So the grace period's going away.
September 1st.
Okay.
So, but we have an opportunity for those that do need a payment plan.
Okay.
If, we understand that times have been hard and challenging. And so the city wants to make sure that that there is a payment plan option.
Good.
But you need to take action before September 1st.
Yeah, you can't wait till they shut off your water to take advantage of this.
Correct. The city, we accept cash, check, credit, debit cards. You can come in person at 415 North Richardson, and you can also set up online payment at roswell-nm.gov.
Yeah.
But to set up a payment plan you have to do it before the water is disconnected. You do need to come in person and speak with one of our customer service representatives. But please tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell those nonprofits, all of the community. We're trying to get the word out as much as we can because that September 1st date is coming soon.
Just I don't know if you have this available, but ballpark, what's the kind of percentage that you're seeing as far as unpaid water bills?
We have over 3,000 accounts.
Over 3,000
that are unpaid. In the city of
Roswell. I was just
Roswell.
curious what kind of numbers we were looking at here. So
quite a bit.
And you understand, times are tough here, but the thing is, they don't want to cut off your water. So be proactive. Go out to City Hall, call, make that arrangements to either set up the payment plan or to pay off your indue bill in kind, or and I get it. Maybe you can't afford the couple $100 or $1,000 or whatever it is at this point. But please reach. They'll work with you. They say, hey, look, okay, can you do whatever it is, $100 a month or whatever those numbers are? They'll work with you and talk about
$25, whatever it might be. That's the thing I really want to communicate to the community is the city of Roswell is willing to work with you.
Yeah.
We just need you to meet us halfway. Come in. Let's talk about it and figure out what kind of plan can work for you to make sure that we can keep your water on. And maybe there's an extended payment program, a plan that we have available that you might qualify for. There are other resources that are available, but we need to hear from you and do it before September 1st, before the waters is shut off.
Yeah, you got here, about a week and a half to make sure you get in touch, reach out.
Yep.
I guarantee if you do the the ostrich stick your head in the sand and hope the problem goes away approach, you will lose your water come September 1.
Yes. We anticipate, we're hoping to get the message out. We're, putting it pretty much everywhere. I'm going to leave some flyers with you. So maybe more people that come in. But yes, September 1st is that big date, and just reach out to our city water service billing department before then. The number is 575-624-6711. And then, of course, you can go online and set that up. The water billing department is open every day from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. They do close at 4. Across the street from them, there's a beautiful, it's like a mailbox, but it's painted. We had some local artists here paint it like water billing. You can also drop off your payment anytime.
Okay.
24 hours a day, it gets picked up.
So if you get off work at 5, you can just swing on by and drop it off there on your way home.
Yes.
Or, like I said, if you want to get high tech, go online to roswell-nm.gov and you set up your either a bill pay or pay
one time.
Yeah, one time electronically there.
Exactly. So. And you'll see the little icon. It's a little circle and it says pay my bill. It'll take you to the link. What you will have to do when you get there, there's like kind of this blank page. It's through the billing program that they use, and you'll either create an account through Google, through Gmail, through I think it's like Facebook. They have all these different options.
Gotcha.
You'll create an account or log into an account that you've already created.
Much like you would if you signed up for like a fast food app or something like that. Yeah, very similar.
And then it gives you the option. Do you want to have a one-time payment, like only pay it today one time, or do you want to have it reoccurring where it takes it out of your bank account via a debit card or something like that? And that's your option to choose how you want to pay it.
Which is not a bad option. However, I know you're going to have to be on top of it because that's a utility bill. It's not generally going to be the same every month. It's based on use. It's not like a house payment where you know it's going to be the same number every month. So if you do that, please be on top of your finances, because if you anticipated a $40 water bill and you got a $60 water bill, that might mess up your balance there if you're not. But it's a great option if you want to do it. But just remember that bill does fluctuate. So be on top of that when you are doing your balancing your checkbooks and all that kind of stuff. So,
absolutely.
But it is a great tool. You just But yeah, and please utilize those and so set up that plan, set up the payment plan. Please, if you're delinquent behind on your payments here, whether it's $50 or more than that, or whatever it is, get with the city. Let's go ahead and set up that payment plan, or just drop the check in the mail, or go on to any of the ways we were talking about here and get that done.
Yes.
But September 1st, the city will start stopping service for those that are delinquent. So you have been warned. Let's talk next here. What's next here?
Tonight, public forum. So we're back. Yes. We're back in person.
Back to the regular monthly public forums.
Forums.
Generally, they were, if I remember right, back then they were kind of different topics, but they'd move them around to different wards to kind of. Is it going to be back like that? Or are they back all at the convention center?
So we're doing something a little bit different. So during COVID, we did virtual. We had to live stream and broadcast. We're going to try that again tonight. Tonight will be our first one. We are combining all wards. Hopefully, everybody will come together. We're one city, one community. And so I think we would like to hear from the community. We did our call for questions. We will still have that. So a week before our forums, we'll have a call for questions that this community can ask our city manager to kind of really give some thought, give some answers, hopefully address.
And obviously, if you get a lot of the same question, they're like, okay, that's something we probably should address, because there are a lot of people that are asking the same question here. So it kind of gives that. And like you said, it gives a chance for Joe or whomever is going to be answering those questions a chance to, if they need to do some more research or get some numbers for you or something like that.
Absolutely. So tonight is all wards, general topics. So we did.
So it's a game on roulette of whatever you've got. Let's talk about it.
Right. Whatever they want to talk about. I think we had about 11 questions come in. So Joe will go over it. Lasts 1 hour, so it's only an hour of your time. Starts at 5:30 at the Roswell Convention Center. We'll also stream it on our YouTube channel, so you can tune in.
So you can watch and listen.
You can watch and listen.
Will you be able to ask questions through that, or just watch and listen?
The questions go through the link beforehand.
Okay.
But if you come in person, we're going to have a board and we'll jot down questions. And if there's time, we'll definitely address them. If not, we'll roll them over to the next month to make sure that we're providing some information to our public.
Just gee whiz, like what you're seeing so far, is it like the styles of questions? Is it more about like services? Is it more about infrastructure? Is it more about like an issue like crime, or I mean, what are people asking generally? Just gee whiz, curious.
So tonight, I think you'll hear about crime. That one always comes up. What is the city doing to prevent crime in our community? You'll hear about, I think, roads. Blocking roads, 2 different places at the same time.
Sure.
There's some questions on what is there to do for youth activities. So I'm actually going to cover that. That's our next topic, our fall guide. How does the city spend the money? That's a really great question. We provide all of our financial information online. We have a monthly finance committee meeting that we go over how does the city spend the money.
So it's all over the place.
It's kind of everywhere,
okay.
and that's the purpose of it. Is we want to hear from the
Sure.
community. There was 11 questions. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head.
Gotcha.
But,
I was just kind of curious what people were like, getting the gauge of the finger on the pulse kind of thing, and what people are interested in and things like that.
And sometimes it's the same user. You can be confidential or you can leave your information. But we love hearing from new people too, and also what are the solutions that they might have, or do they have ideas? And that's that's why we call it the public forum.
Yeah, because it's not just a gripe fest. It really is let's meeting of the minds here, and it's like, okay, maybe there is a need out there that the city just isn't aware of, and then we the public say, hey, you should do this, and they're like, yeah, let's research, and then you say, you know what, that's a brilliant idea. Let's get the ball rolling on that. It's kind of this is a more public because in theory you can do the same thing with your city councilor. Each resident of the city has 2 city councilors that represent them at city council meeting, and so when you have these kind of questions, please shoot an email or a phone call or whatever, a letter to your city councilor, because this is exactly what that's for. But like you said, if you want something more public, and let's talk, come out to the meeting tonight and get it out there. But if you have more that don't seem to be answered here tonight, then please write that letter or shoot that email to your city councilor and put it on the radar and let them give you an answer or get you something that you're more satisfied with.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. But tonight we're talking general topics, all wards, and then our schedule for 2022-2023, we will have topicals. So next month, we're going to talk about community development and the economic impact of why community development is important and what we are doing to develop this community out. You'll hear from our community development director, Kevin Mavers.
Yeah.
And then any topics, what new businesses are coming, what new homes, developments in our community.
Yeah. He's been doing our monthly updates here, and a lot of good stuff's happening here. I think the last time I talked to him, we were talking a lot about an RV park that they want to be putting in, that they're wanting to put in town here, and it sounds like there's a bigger need than I realized for something like that. So it's pretty interesting stuff. So
So tonight, 5:30, Roswell Convention Center. Come on out. Like I said, it only lasts an hour. So on your way home from work, stop in. We'll have a few refreshments and just, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, exactly. And come on. Yeah, come out and even if you don't have a question per se, just want to listen and hear, please come on out. And like you said, if you do have a busy, you got to get the kids off to whatever, then you can watch it online there through the city's website, and that way you can watch it or on the Facebook as well too.
Absolutely.
So that way you can keep the breath, and that's great too because that's on demand. So so if you're not available 5:30 and you're not available till
later
8:00 tonight, you can sit down when you got time and watch it and things like that. And then of course if you do have questions, shoot them to your city councilor, and they'll be happy to, or ask to Joe here, and he can work it through the channels and get all that done. So, good deal. What's next we want to talk about?
One of the questions actually from the forum that Joe will address tonight, but also I'd love to share with the community is all of the activities that the city, our enrichment services, which really kind of fall under my wheelhouse, all the things that we offer to the community. So we just launched our fall guide about a week ago. It's an online digital. It was in the paper this week. I have the copy right here.
Very nice.
There are a variety of programming opportunities for adults, for seniors, for youth, for activities. So we have our adult center. We have some technology classes, how to use social media, how to set up a website.
Yeah, they've expanded their services here in the last 6 months or so to add. Now that they're kind of they kind of reopened back up a little bit here in the last year.
We didn't have staffing. And so we have a new staff out there. Really excited to work with them. And we've been really trying hard to come up with some different type of programming to get people back in the adult center.
This book is probably a good guide of seeing how the city's coming out of COVID now.
Yes.
Because let's face it, a lot of this stuff got shut down, and not just city sector, but private sector as
Right.
well. And some of that's slowly coming back. And so now we're seeing all these city services now, gangbusters coming back, and Adult Center is one of those. So
Adult Center, we are programming very heavily. We have step aerobics, line dance class, we have drum fit, we have beginning yoga. I mean, lots of different activities. We have a hospitality room that you can come to and just come sit and socialize and visit and network with people. We have some great special events that are coming up. The big one that's coming in October is the Oktoberfest. That's coming back. It'll be back at Spring River Zoo.
BEAR. Not BARE, no nudity. I just want to clear that up for people because somebody's like, Bear, I'm start shirking. No. BEAR. Just want to get that clarified.
And that is a fundraiser through our great partners, the Friends of Spring River Zoo.
Cool.
So you can get your tickets online. It's going to be September 24th.
Should be cooling off a little bit by then. It'll be nice weekends out there. Yeah.
All those proceeds go back to the zoo. Starts at 5:00. We'll end at about between 8 and 9. And then we have programs. So one of the questions, what are the programs for the youth? So Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center has a variety. We have over 2 pages.
Yeah, they got a full fall schedule, full sports and activities and all stuff.
Activities. Yeah. We're having a new program called Glow in the Dark. One of the things that we tried at the UFO Festival was the Glow Golf. Okay. It was a new program that we came up with.
Do they golf at night?
They golf at night.
How cool is that?
It was a huge, huge success. We actually just had another one last weekend. Again, huge success. So we said, people like glow in the dark. Why not have some fun and do glow in the dark volleyball, a glow in the dark dance party, a glow in the dark swim night? And so lots of different activities there. The pool party, dive-in movies. We have a pumpkin pool patch that we're going to do in the aquatic center. Then, of course, we have the water aerobics. We have lap swimming every morning. So if you want to wake up and start your exercise in the pool, we have that.
Cool.
We'll have regular volleyball. And then we also are introducing t-ball for those younger children that are 3 to 4 that are maybe not yet in preschool or just about to go into preschool, to introduce them to some of those sports and activities. We have a new program for our teens. So skateboarding. Our skate park is right across the street. Mm-hmm. So we want to be able to provide some programming for those youth that, maybe that's what they like to do. And so we're going to have skateboarding
little tournaments and whatnot
in the fall. Yeah. So it'll be starting August 16th through September 20th. We'll have different series.
That'll be fun.
So go online, roswellconnect.com, to look at all of the information. This book is on our website. Like I said, it will be available at all of our locations, at the rec center, at the museum. And then that's the other thing. So the museum is for adults and children. Mm-hmm. And so we have Future Shock. It's a fantastic exhibition. If you have not been to the Roswell Museum, you've got to go check it out.
Okay.
It's one of the neatest, probably one of my favorites that they've had.
Is it, I'm trying to wrap my head around what the concept is.
It's about technology in the future with art and how,
so it's using
conservation. So it's
like art in a more futuristic mediums and things.
Way, yes.
Okay, I gotcha.
It's really cool, really cool.
Okay.
And then they are having gallery talks too. So they'll actually have one this evening as well. And then they're the third Thursday of the month. And then their big event that we're working on is the Roswell Science and Art Festival. Again, tying in science and art together. And we have so many local museums here. Really go out. If you haven't been to them, come and check them out.
Absolutely.
Our Roswell Museum, we had the city hosted the New Mexico Hospitality Association a couple of weeks ago. And there were about 3 individuals in that group that had never been to Roswell. And I was really grateful for Nancy Fleming and taking them to the Anderson Museum. And then, of course, we were able to get Miranda Howe to talk a little bit about Bone Springs, and really appreciate those 2 women to help me do my job and really tell the story of why Roswell is so unique and so important to visit.
And they all enhance each other.
They do.
The Roswell Museum and Art Center helps Bone Springs. Bone Springs helps the Museum and Art Center. The Anderson Museum and the Miniatures Museum, they it's all in concert. It really is. And so and we have a very unique district in a community this size. We have so many things that most communities this size do not have, and that arts district is really one of them.
And they were super impressed, and they said, we've heard about it, we've seen some of your stuff, seen the ads, but we never realize the big impact that it has had. So that's really exciting. And then, of course, last but not least, we did talk about the zoo, but they're also having Night of the Living Zoo and their membership. So we're going into the fall season.
And that's around Halloween time, I'm guessing.
Night of the Living Zoo, yep. It'll be our safe trick-or-treating event with some local partners. So if you're a business out there and would like to participate and provide a safe space for our youth to do some fun trick-or-treating fall festival type events, we're going to be out there 2 nights, the weekend before Halloween, providing that service to our community.
And don't forget, when we're talking about museums and the zoo and all this, there's the second Saturday for the museum.
Yes, free.
What's the zoo one? Is it also second?
It's the first Saturday.
First Saturday.
We want to rotate so that you can go to one weekend, you go to the zoo, the next weekend you go to the museum.
I just can't remember which Saturday it was, but yeah, those are free weekends for Roswell residents here. So if you're thinking, well, I can't afford, great, go the second Saturday, go to the museum, or the first Saturday, and go to the zoo and enjoy all this stuff free of charge. But then when you bring your out of town friends, bring them on the third Tuesday or whatever it is. But definitely take advantage of this stuff. This is there's so much going on in this community, and through the city direct or through partners or just other entities here in this community, we have a lot going on. We have a great as far as arts and entertainment with music, with the with these studios and these museums and galleries. We have such cool, and none of this has to do with aliens. That's the cool part, and then we talk like the historical society and that side and those various entities that really cover this. We have so many cool things here.
We do.
And then you get to the aliens, and then you get onto all of that stuff. So there's really a whole lot here. And don't forget our resources just outside, Bitter Lake, Bottomless Lakes. These are places that all serve the community and are great things to take advantage of. So please, there is plenty to do in this community.
Plenty to do. And you can also come by the visitor center. We have some information there too. That's their goal and their job is to disperse not only the community, but the visitors that are coming here, to get them into the stores, to get them into the museums and our attractions and things like that. And,
I know we're early and it's only August here, but is there talk of like any special holiday ornaments or anything that's going to be coming out of the visitor center? Collector items that to look for here in the future months? Or?
I don't know about collector items. I mean, we will have our ornament, our city ornament.
Well,
that we
I always
have.
look at that as a collector's thing.
So,
I didn't know if there was any plans like that.
Yeah, so we will have that. But no, we do have some programming there for the visitor center. It's kind of like a community house, but also for the visitors. It's kind of that first stop. The goal of that building and the people that work in there is to get people to stay overnight.
It's kind of like the new app, but a brick and mortar version.
Correct. And you would be surprised. A lot of people, they come here, they see our advertisement, and then they're like, okay, well, now what? Yeah. And so our guest service team, they really direct them where to go, where to eat, where to shop, where, what to do. And most important, they really try to convince them if they're passing through. And that's the thing. Roswell's a pass-through market. We have to recognize that, and we do. But to try to get them to stay one more night or to, make it extend their stay, or if they're
make
coming
it 2 days
back,
instead of 1 day in Roswell.
On their way back or on their way to somewhere else next time, staying overnight. And that's the goal.
Well, because you think about it, we get the cross traffic. We get the Texans going to Ruidoso that way. We get people going down to Carlsbad Caverns that way. So we kind of catch them in those. We're at that crossroads where they're like, all right, we're going to spend a day or hopefully more than a day here in Roswell and see what Roswell has to offer. So that's kind of the ideology there.
Yes.
So and that's why New Mexico tourism kind of works in concert here. We don't have a Disney World here for like a destination place where everyone goes to eventually. In Florida or California or these other places, we've got a series of things that you want to take the state in as a whole and be like, oh, I want to spend some day up north and in the Santa Fe and that art district. And I want to come down south here and then maybe go to the western part of the state and see some of what they have to offer. And that's kind of, they want to hit the things. They're going to go see the large array, or they're going to go see caverns, or they're going to go see some of the museums in Albuquerque. That's the draw. Or they're going to go to Lincoln to see Billy the Kid, or they're going to go to Ruidoso to go to the horse track or something like that. There's each has their own little unique thing. We want to put them all together and make it a vacation for everybody. And so, hey, spend a few days in Ruidoso, spend a few days in Roswell, head on down to Carlsbad. That's the ideology. So that's what it's geared toward. But for you, the local, utilize all this stuff. This is, like you said, we got the free days at the museum and the zoo just for our local city folks here, people that, that called this place home. And we have all these other opportunities. So take advantage of those. And then, like, at the same time, go to the library. Like, if you want to go see some of these other places I'm talking about, they've got like a pass. I know we're getting later in summer and it's not as popular now, but if you're going to go to like Lincoln, you can go get a free pass from our city library that basically gets 6 people into Lincoln for free.
Yes.
And doesn't cost you a dime.
I know.
And that's just because you're here in Roswell. So ask about that stuff. It's there. So.
Absolutely.
Did we get everything? I know I got a little sidetracked there.
I think we did. That was a lot to cover. But take a look. All of our fall guide and programming, it's about 12 pages, I think, online. When you look at it so long. So it's online at roswell-nm.gov.
Yeah.
Click on the tab. It'll say Fall Guide under our news section. Please don't forget about the water billing. September 1st is the cutoff. Please contact our customer service department and pre-plan and make some arrangements so we can help you.
And, of course, if you want to sign up for any of the events and things at the Recreation Aquatic Center, passes, you become members, do any of the kind of stuff with the zoo, with the Museum and Art Center, the Aquatic Center, any of those city services, RoswellConnect.com.
Yes.
It's got everything you need there for that. So,
absolutely.
good deal.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll see you here next time and go stomp out 12 fires. I'm sure you have.
Yes.
So we'll see you next time. And anytime you guys need on that doesn't work in our thing, and we please shout out. We'll make it happen.
Yes, and I do appreciate that. Thank you for everything for UFO. It was a great success.
No, I'm glad we had another winner for UFO season. Problem is, you got to top each other every year, and that's where it's going to get harder. If you keep doing these too good, we're going to be in trouble at some point. So, thank you, Juanita.
Thank you.
All right, it is 8:53. Let's pause for some news.